Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Avery with Just My Opinion.
And I'm Malcolm Toussaint.
And we're here with you today, Saturday, January the 11th, 2014, for our opinion on Lone Survivor. Now, this video is spoiler filled, so if you haven't seen Lone Survivor yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I strongly suggest you turn the video off now, or you can put it in your watch later list because we are going to talk spoilers. So, you have been warned. So, Lone Survivor was directed by Peter Berg. I really love Peter Berg. He, in recent years, has become someone definitely on my radar. Do you know anything about him?
A little bit. I mean, he's not, one of my top guys, but, he's worth checking out.
Yeah. Not one of my top guys either, but, when I do see his name attached, it does keep me interested. He recently did Battleship, based off the old Hasbro board game from the 90s. I've only played that like a few times, and I didn't know how to play. But I saw the movie. It was a mixed bag. He had some beautiful shots with the action, but the acting was, pretty bad. He also did Friday Night Lights, Hancock, which Will Smith came out in '08. I really loved that. A lot of people didn't like the ending, but so when I found out Peter Berg was attached to Lone Survivor, I was pretty excited. So. I want to just ask you now, what were your expectations going in?
I thought it would be a pretty decent war movie. I didn't think to take it too serious because of Marky Mark being in there. He's cool.
Oh,
but he's not like a serious guy like that.
Really?
I thought he was gonna. I thought he was in there, to add some comedic relief every now and then. But
wow. Okay. Yeah, so we haven't talked about it. I was able to catch an early screening of it, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think you said you saw it last night. And so we didn't want to talk about it. We wanted to go into this fresh, and I'm kind of surprised you said that. I didn't know you felt that way about Marky Mark.
I mean, I love Marky Mark.
Okay.
I call him Marky Mark. But
a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I don't take him. He's a good actor, but
you just don't
sentiment, yeah, I mean, not like that.
Oh, okay.
War movie, I was like,
I think he's, people have their own opinion of him, and they're entitled to that, and as well I am. I mean, I think he's a well-rounded, guy. I mean, I look forward to all of his work. I mean, it's not, 100% always Oscar-worthy, top of, no, not that, but I mean, he's definitely entertaining. So, but with my expectations. They were actually just fair. When I started seeing trailers and, hearing this and the buzz, it wasn't anything that just really excited me. I mean, I wasn't, I wasn't dreading to go see it, but I wasn't excited either. I'm just, okay, another Marky Mark January movie, because his movies do tend to come out a lot in January. Not all the time. I mean, he had Ted come out in July and a lot of others, but he does have a lot of movies that come out in January. So,
the irony.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's January. It's not over. We're going to see how that goes. But anyway, so I guess my expectations were, just average fare. I guess would you say the same?
It's average. I was expecting a, run-of-the-mill war movie. Not too much special.
Okay. Oh, and, of course, he's not the only name. You have Taylor Kitsch in the movie. He was Gambit in the Wolverine X-Men Origins film that a lot of people really didn't care for.
Okay, when I saw him, I was like, okay, this might be a little bit more intense. That's why I was saying Marky Mark is in there for some comedic relief to add, make things a little bit lighter. So,
and people have their own opinion about Taylor Kitsch, but I like him. He was in that movie, the Mars movie. I forgot. It was based off of a book. It came out, I think, in 2010. A lot of people slept on it, but it was actually really good. I was able to see that in IMAX. I should have. I can't remember the name. Maybe it'll come to me later, but go on IMDb, you can check that out. That was real good. You also got Ben Foster and Emil Hirsch. I think I'm saying his name. But anyway, just moving along. Those are the four guys, in Lone Survivor. It wasn't just one big name. It was four pretty good decent actors. So I mean, at least it had that. So my expectations was fair, I guess.
Average.
Okay. So going in, what were your general impressions of the movie? Just, into it. Just overall,
I really liked it. I mean, it was one of my top war movies of the last 10 years or so.
Oh.
I mean, it was
Okay.
It really hit home for me. Like it was a lot of things going on that I really liked. I liked the way it was presented. You know, it wasn't your average one of the mill movie. It wasn't. It was very realistic. Is what I
Yeah,
felt like
I'll
being
give you
in that
that.
environment
I
before.
will give you that.
It was very real, but it
was
wasn't
very
too boring. Like
no.
not too slow. It was just it felt real.
Yeah, it did. I'll get into how I felt real a little bit later. But my general impression, I loved it. This is something that I will buy. This is something that I will recommend for a lot of people to watch. You know, even my parents. I mean, it wasn't perfect, you know, but I really enjoyed the film. Since we just loved it, is there anything you disliked?
Well,
Because I have
now
a few little nitpicks myself.
okay.
You know,
Well, okay.
but
One of
go
the
ahead.
things I actually kind of liked it, but some people might not like it. It was kind of split in half. I mean, it was just moving kind of, plodding along. Okay, these guys, they're going to war.
Like
All of a sudden, halfway through the movie, bam, they're in war. There's no question about it, and it doesn't really slow down, except for this one moment in there where they're getting shot at. It's two of them left.
Okay.
And they talking about, you won't die. And like everything is silent around them. And I'm like, well, did the Taliban stop shooting to let them, film this dialogue scene? You know what I mean? But outside of that, I was very into it the whole entire movie. It was
that.
Yeah, I noticed that because I was like, wow, like what happened to the gunfire? Like it just stopped.
They just stopped.
It just stopped. Yeah, like okay, let's let them talk. Have this conversation before we kill one of them.
I honestly didn't notice that. Is that your only dislike? Or do you have any more?
As of now, because it hit. I mean, there was some little things here and there, but it hit home with me, and it was so emotionally driven. It didn't hold back any punches. That I kind of looked over. I kind of looked over them.
Yeah,
it didn't really matter to me.
The only dislike I had was kind of towards the beginning. I mean, we opened up with, I believe it was real footage of
the Navy SEALs training.
Right. I believe that was real footage. If it wasn't real footage, they did a hell of a good job, making it look like it was. But when the movie kind of started, I didn't know who to concentrate on. As far as the characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, you can talk about that when we get to the lights.
Yeah.
But, for me, it was just like, okay, who do I, or maybe I wasn't focused. But that's just a little nitpick. Another nitpick I had was, and of course this is spoilers, you have seen it, or you just don't care. When
or you're gonna go see it anyway.
Exactly. When Mark, his character's Marcus, I believe he was the only one left, and he hid under the rocks, and the guy was standing over him, with the Taliban was standing over him with the gun, and I believe he slept there, because the sunset. That transition to me was a little sloppy. It just, I actually was just looking like, oh, okay, this is going downhill now.
As far as time, yeah.
But I mean, other than that, that's my only dislike. I didn't have. Excuse me. I didn't notice what you noticed as far as the conversation.
It was a small little thing in there. It just took. It was so intense, like the whole time, and all of a sudden it was no gunfire. Let's talk about how you're not gonna die.
Right.
And your wife. Tell my wife I love her.
Now,
okay.
And if this is based on a true story,
Which
I
is
cannot. Right. Why did I say that? Of course it's. Yes, based on a true story, I cannot really judge, the story, if it's true, because that's what happened.
Can.
Well, you can judge the storytelling, but, I mean, if I was speaking, you will be judging the actual, Marcus, his decisions in the war.
But it's still a movie, though. Let's not forget.
Well,
I don't give it any
true.
cool points because it's based on a true story.
I was just getting frustrated because, there's just radios didn't work. I mean, you going into, behind enemy lines. I just kind of just thinking like, okay, y'all should have just took care of this. You knew that you were going to have to do this. I mean, you said, okay, we knew radio's going to be bad. I mean, you need to. I just felt like I just kept thinking, okay, they should have prepared a little bit more. Had a different strategy. Waited till they had. I mean, I know they were killing Marines and they wanted to go in there. I don't know. That just kind of stung me a little bit. But other than that, those are all my dislikes.
Okay, well, as far as that, I mean, they. Something happened. Something went wrong. I mean, like everything is going right. The mission, like I said, the movie was going slowly along.
I mean, they knew that going in.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't expect that to happen that.
Well, yeah.
But
let me ask you this: just the biggest question. I'm putting you on the spot. I don't know. Do you agree with the decision to let them go? When they were hiding and they were coming through with the goats or whatever those were.
Um,
So the only thing I didn't like about that, if you let them go, I didn't think they were hustling enough. They were kind of taking their time. I mean, I know it's a movie that probably took,
well, that's the thing.
8 hours.
Okay. Here's
but
the thing. When you like you in basic training, you're conditioned to fight and be the best, and you don't really going to war is different though. Being in a dog fight and going to war is totally different, and that's what I loved about it though, because it showed that. I mean, you can train and have these ideas and this mapped out, and everything thought out, but shit happens. It's people trying to take your life, and they'll do anything to take your life.
right.
So
It was a hard decision to make. One of them was just like, hey, these are not soldiers. We have to let them go. And the other was like, no, this is a soldier. I kind of felt that the kid and the older man was innocent, in the sense, maybe not, but the one in the middle, I mean, he looked evil
they
as
did.
hell.
They did make it seem really obvious, and I was like, okay, well,
Well, no,
in
that's
the back,
not a complaint from me though.
no, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, kill him.
Yeah,
really,
but-
like that's one thing too.
I mean, but that's just horrible. I mean, that'd be really just hard to live with. I mean, you don't want to just go, eye for eye, with innocent people and collateral damage. But I was kind of thinking, okay, you need to, hit this dude in the back of the head, knock him out or something. I don't know. I mean, I would have been
That's
happy
what I was
with them
thinking as
tying him
well.
up or something.
Leaving him
but-
tied. I would have left him
I-
tied.
Maybe left them some food or I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. Getting to the likes. Pretty much for me, I liked everything about the whole movie. I thought the dialogue was great. I thought the relationships were great. I mean, when I was doing a little research on this, they had Navy SEALs on the set every day, and all four of the main actors did a hell of a job, with portraying Navy SEALs. I really felt that they could possibly be, Navy SEAls. I don't have anything to compare that to, other than what I see else, on television and the big screen. I don't. I wasn't raised from, Navy SEALs, so I can't be like, oh yeah, my brother, he just looks just like that, but I thought they did a real good job there,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is, like I said, it seemed very realistic. And I love the fact that, it kind of thrust you in there. Because, I mean, that's how war works. I mean, they were going on I don't know if it was a reconnaissance mission, just kind of scoping the scene. They were going to,
they were
be
trying
there.
to kill they were trying to kill the
Yeah, but
soldier.
they're gonna chill for a little bit till they got some backup. Or,
Yeah. And
you know.
what really got me into it is, I know most of you have heard of Call of Duty. Some of it, what Peter Berg did with the shots, when they were, scoping the scene, just maneuvering through the trees, having the camera right behind, Mark as he's, walking, looking back. I don't know. That got me really into the movie.
I liked it, and I love the fact that they did not overdo it because I was so afraid for that.
Really?
Yeah, to make it too video game-ish. They
Really?
didn't. No, they didn't do it like that.
It did have, and it did have that video game feel in a mature sense. I did like it. We just got done talking about Legend of Hercules and how horrible they did with the slow mo in that movie. The slow mo in this movie was brilliant. When they were falling down the mountain, hitting a rock or hitting a tree, it would slow down just for a split second and then speed back up.
Yeah.
I love that. I felt every bullet that went into someone, whether it was a good guy or a bad guy, every hit, every fall, every roll. I mean, I was in there moving. I'm like, oh shit, oh ah. I mean, I was into the movie like that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing the fact, as far as like when they were falling, and it was in slow mo, and I just felt like shouldn't he have broken like a back or something?
Yeah, I mean, they
felt that
were
a couple
getting beat up,
times.
but that goes to show. I mean, they I don't know much about Navy SEALs, but that's what that opening scene was for. Is just showing them that the bullshit that they have to go through to prepare themselves for this mentally and physically. I mean, you really have to transform yourself, and he did a great job with that opening scene. And it translated over into the rest of the movie. They just did a great job. Now, I may sound so excited right here. I don't think this movie was a perfect 10. I mean, I was highly entertained. My expectations were fair, and they exceeded it. So, but I'm not gonna get into my rating now. But just the way they were communicating, just in general. Move left. Move right. And they know where they're at. I forgot which one it was. But they know that the wolves are coming.
Yeah.
He peeks behind the bush or the rock and sees the line of the Taliban on that mountain. It's like, oh fucking shit. What are we gonna do? I mean, and just the way it was shot, and then the soundtrack with it. It just I don't know. I thought it was beautiful. I loved. I was really getting into the movie. I mean, it was.
No, I was really
depths.
into it.
I was.
And like I said, they didn't hold. I'm glad they didn't they actually showed an American, one of the last ones to survive, getting shot in the head.
Man, that was crazy. He went out like a G too. Only reason he died is because he ran out of bullets. And
only reason.
Only reason. I mean, he was. I mean, they were just getting hit. Ah, shit! I can still fight. Go move right. I'm like, damn. I mean, like, are you serious? I don't know. I probably would have clocked out at that point in time. A lot of other people. I would have did this and did that. As soon as the first gunfire goes out, there would have been screaming like a little girl. But anyway. I really did like, it was just intense, and it really just showed the conditioning, how strong they were. They were getting tagged.
It showed their will to survive.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
it
was great.
You were already going for them, of course, but it's like, geez, like these guys have to make it. Like they didn't, have them all made up,
right.
just with a little dirt. Like they were cut up on the face, they were bleeding all over the place.
Right, hands,
shit was broken. They shot.
Mark Wahlberg's Marcus character, his legs broken. He has to walk. The guy's fingers are blown off.
Yeah.
They kind of died some explosions. There was a lot of that, but I don't know. I was just, so into it. I mean, you can tell the adrenaline, kicked up, times 50, on this, when they're in the battlefield, and it just really drew me in, kind of like I was playing a video game. When Ben Foster had the sniper rifle and he was like, I am a reaper, just picking them off. I mean, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I really can't wait for it to come out, and I can put it on Blu-ray, watch it on the big screen, and just kick back. So I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Any other good points you like?
Well, yeah. I mean, as far as like you were saying, like the dialogue, it seemed real. Like if you were in their shoes, if you had done what they had done and were in that situation, you probably would say the same exact thing. It wasn't too many cheesy, over the top lines like you would expect from some average, war movies.
Yeah. I feel you too. I mean, I loved everything. I just keep saying that. There's no.
I mean, I could go on and on and on, but yeah, I really love the movie. I feel like it was a necessity. Like it was shot in a way that it wasn't like too video gamey, but I feel like kids, our current right. Audience needs to see this type of war movie. People die in war movies. They get shot and they die.
Right.
And sometimes you don't know what is coming, and
and you gave me a reason. They had it just sucks. They had a noble cause. You can't just have people going around killing your team.
Yeah, I mean,
left and right.
It was real because you realize these bad guys. I mean, they fight back.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're in bad situations. You could die.
They don't give a damn. And he fought to the last breath. I mean, he did everything to win. I have so much respect for that tribe. How they took him in and they were doing. You found out in that end credit roll they've been doing that for 2,000 years. To protect. Your enemy's enemy is your friend.
Well, just a one. What was it like? Just one person, like protect the individual from his enemies. So I don't know if it was because he was by himself. Is that what kind of propelled them to? But one thing. When they had the 4 Taliban, the leaders or whatever, they're about to chop Mark's head off. Why didn't they just kill them then?
I thought about that too.
That was another thing.
Yeah,
but
they could have just killed them there. I mean, they were locked and loaded.
They were. You knew you were going to go to war.
Right.
Anyway, so may as well kill the leader.
They could have did that then. But just another great piece. When they came in with the Apache helicopters and they just lit up the streets with them bullets. I mean, I just love that. I mean, somebody in the theater was like, "Hell yeah!" Cheering. Screaming. I was like that too. I wasn't gonna do that. I want to disturb.
Well, no, I mean,
it was just badass.
You knew it was gonna. You knew that kind of thing was gonna happen. It's called Lone Survivor, and there was one guy left, so he's gonna get rescued.
Yeah. I just like the way they did it. It was just beautifully shot. Great action.
Yeah, it was intense.
Choreographed. I just really liked it. So Yeah, it's blatantly obvious that we pretty much love the movie. So I think you would too. Maybe not as much as us. I mean, I just wasn't blown away. It wasn't the best action war movie I've seen, not even remotely close. But for having fair average expectations, I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing it again. So
Yeah.
and what would you give it? 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Mm.
It was kind of a classic, man. Like it was one of the first movies I've seen in a while that actually like made me shed multiple tears.
What?
Like at the end, like, I'm telling you, like
Okay.
if you understand warfare and how this thing works,
Yeah.
because I was in that situation.
There was a beautiful piece, how they showed all the fallen soldiers with their family, and their girls.
They hit home.
Damn, I'm like, they did knock it up a notch for me, a bit.
One more. Okay. Also at the end, okay, you knew it, but it was like, oh snap! Like you thought he might die. Remember they were trying to revive him. He wasn't breathing.
They
I was
did
like,
come back to that.
dang.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
They gonna kill Marky Mark. All right. I was gonna cry.
You can't kill Marky Mark.
Either way.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. I mean, I loved it. I won't give it a 9.5. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay.
I kept dancing back and forth on 8.5 and 9, 8.5 and 9. On Facebook, I put 9, but I think I'm going to give it. I'm gonna stick with 8, which is fairly good. That's like A minus B plus. It's hard to get a 10. But I really enjoyed it. So 9.5, 8.5. We really enjoyed it. That's our opinion on Lone Survivor. We would love to hear your opinion as well. So go ahead and comment below in that comment section. Whether you agree or disagree with us, please let us know, because all movies are subjective. Give us that thumbs up. Give us that thumbs down. Hey, just be honest. Give us your opinion. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Become one of our subscribers at B. Avery's Just My Opinion. Have a lot of things in development right now, but that'll come later. So click that subscribe button. Share it with the world. We don't mind. And if you want to find me online, you can on Facebook at Brandon Keith Avery, or Instagram and Twitter at Just My Opinion 84. And where can people find you online?
Mainly on Twitter, Malcolm MALCOLM, the number 2, the letter G, or you can catch me on Instagram a little bit, MTOOG.
Well, there you go, guys. Look us up online. Click that subscribe button. Give us that thumbs up. Like, share, do all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. And don't forget, before you go, that my name is B. Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.